Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our second episode of Skribr and Decod3rs. I'm your host, Vpiphany. Welcome back to the show, Denomics.
Yo, thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. I know you're a little bit under the weather, so thank you for making it. And then we have Sus with us today. Welcome to your first show. And then, of course, we have the lovely Vincent.
Hi.
Anyways, let's get right into it. It was kind of a busy week. It kind of started out slow, but then we had a lot of news come in. Hi, Drew. We had a lot of news come in kind of early on this week. So big news for most of us. Bitcoin broke 50K. How do we feel about this?
Ooh, me personally, I don't know, man. I'm in all sorts. I've been pretty bearish for a while. I thought what we were having was a bit of a bear market rally and expecting a bit of a stronger retracement back down to around mid 30s at least before moving in towards a halvening. A little bit of a consolidation before the halvening. Mm-hmm. So this run and breakout of 50 has sort of thrown me off a little bit, but I've sort of been in the game long enough now to not try and go against the grain. I mean, sometimes being a contrarian can be quite beneficial, but I mean, when the trend's strong, just run with it. Don't make predictions, just run with the trend. I'm still not 100% convinced it's up only yet, though. I don't think we're there yet, put it that way.
Give it 2 weeks.
Yeah. I got some orders in, hoping that it's not all the way up yet.
I feel like it's just about that time. Denomics is saying, I'm starting to think that maybe it's not so bearish. It's about the time where it's like, maybe you shouldn't place your buy orders yet. That's about the time where it's like, you're going to buy the top. But
yeah.
It's been strong.
Perfect opportunity to rip it right down about now. So I'd say be careful. It's definitely not like a buy signal. That's for sure. Even if it is, going into sort of bull vibes, I still wouldn't be thinking that this is a good buy or price. It's just pumped. So just give it time.
Mm-hmm. Drew. I can tell Drew is like rubbing his hands together. He's like, okay, it doesn't really matter because I know he has big Bitcoin bags. He talks about them often. Morning, Ramo. Morning, Pengzu. Nice to see you here, Gabriel. Welcome.
All the boys.
All the boys. All the Skribr peeps in the house. Nice to see you. So then we also have just kind of in, I guess, Web3, Web2 news. A new ETF, Franklin Templeton, is filing for the Ethereum ETF. How do we feel about that?
I mean, we kind of knew it was coming, right? As soon as the BTC one was approved, we knew that we were going to start seeing a flood of Ethereum one. So I think the whole Bitcoin being approved has now just opened up the floodgates to allow others, as long as they sort of, or I guess the SEC sort of deem them as fit. But they've sort of now got something to work off as an example. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing a lot more of them. Ethereum would be the most likely to get approved after Bitcoin, so makes sense. So I wouldn't be surprised if it gets approved, and it probably won't take anywhere near as long as like the Bitcoin ones did.
Yeah. So Vittler, as an ETH maxi, how do you feel about this?
I mean, like, I don't know. Okay, so no, I'm not an ETH maxi. It's not because I have some asset on it. I had ETH actually.
It's terrible. It's a terrible
I agree, but you have a lot of holdings on ETH. Yeah, probably more than like on Solana. If you think about it,
before
really
launching
financially.
Before launching an ETF, please fix the fees.
Yeah.
And they went to all-time highs that they haven't seen in like 18 months this week. So that must have been gas fees.
Yeah, I did just a buy order the other day on Uniswap. It was only about $300 worth or something, and I think I paid like $35-$45 in fees, like just gas fees, which is pretty ridiculous.
It'd be great if we could stop breaking that record high and start going to record lows.
That'd be
excellent.
Like when we let's say all-time highs, not price, fees. Like
Yeah.
like what? But yeah, about an ETF, like okay, for ETH it makes sense, but then what's the next step after like altcoin ETF? I don't believe in that. Like in what world like we have an ETF with like Tron, like Dogecoin, and then we need an ETF for that. But for ETH,
I think
it makes sense.
Well,
I think it's going to be more so anything that had like ICOs and stuff like that,
Yeah.
VC backing, all those are going to really struggle, I would say.
Yeah, exactly.
Bitcoin makes sense because it's like completely fair launch, decentralization,
Yeah,
all
exactly.
that sort of stuff. And I think ETH had a long enough time to sort of get its distribution out quite wide and probably bypass a whole bunch of shit from the Howey test. But yeah, pretty much every other altcoin that used some sort of an IDO, ICO, or some sort of VC raise,
Exactly.
I reckon they're going to struggle.
Like I don't see an ETF with Solana anytime soon. That's like it doesn't make sense. It's kind of like taking your coin and going public when you're already like it. What?
Yeah,
it's weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So speaking of Solana, we hit 100K pre-orders on Saga 2. So first of all, did any of you get it?
No, not.
I bought a couple of the first one. And I was sort of half tempted to buy the second one only because I guess they promised better hardware and things like that. But I think a lot of people jumped on the second one, not just because of they had a massive discount. I think it was like $450 or something. I think a lot of people were sort of banking on the idea of like, oh, we're going to get all these airdrops, but not factoring in that the first phone, there was like 20,000 of them. So airdropping a bunch of cool shit to 20,000 is not that bad. The new phone, 100,000. Do you think they're going to airdrop like $500 worth of shit to 100,000? Like, it's just not going to happen. So I think a lot of people will be a little bit disappointed in that aspect because they're probably thinking, oh, I'll get all this free stuff. I don't think that's really going to happen. So it is what it is.
Especially like the first generation kind of flop until like Bonk did airdrops targeting the phone holders, right? So now that you launch your chapter 2 on the same premises that like, and then like it's more people and more everything, exactly like you said, like then you're going to have like a 12-box airdrop instead of 500, and then people will have bad taste in their mouths because they're not going to swap iPhone to Solana Mobile. So
I don't think they're there yet anyway. Like I've played around with my Saga a few times. It's a decent phone, but if you've just bought either the latest Samsung or Apple, it's probably not something that you would use on a daily basis. I never bought it for that. I specifically bought it because I wanted a crypto-only phone that I didn't use for anything else, and I had the ability with the hardware wallet and things like that. So it's super convenient as a secondary phone. I just don't see it being a what do you call it? Like your primary phone.
Yeah, and you're not a drug dealer. You don't need a secondary phone.
Okay.
You think he's only got 2?
Cool. Yeah, exactly.
Like 4 phones in here at the moment.
Exactly. I agree with Drew. I did pre-order it. I have a Saga, which I've never seen, but I did pre-order a Saga 2. And I actually need multiple phones, so I figured.
Oh, so you're a drug dealer?
Sure.
Or she's just got a couple of guys on the go.
Huh?
But
what did you say, Denomics?
You've got a couple of guys on the go. That's
It's like my sneaky side guy phone. Yeah. Side guy Saga.
Mm-hmm. You have the backup to the backup phone.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, Drew makes a good point, but I think, I was thinking of it more in terms of USDC at the time.
Yeah.
And I did think like it's never going to be the same in terms of airdrops, but in terms of like at the moment, I use the same phone that I use for everything for all of my Web3 things. So I was thinking more in terms of like this will be my dedicated Web3 phone.
Yeah.
And also with traveling, I do usually have multiple phones for different different countries. So
yeah, I think for that purpose, like if you factor in a ledger What's a ledger? Even the cheap one's
Yeah.
like $150 or something, right? So you're paying a little bit more for a hardware device similar to a ledger, but you've got a touch screen, you got a whole bunch of other functionality. So it's like a pretty high quality ledger, and it's not that much more than what a standard ledger costs. I think even the stacks, is it called the stacks?
think so,
Have you
yeah.
seen that? The new ledger with the touchscreen? I think weren't they pre-sale like $500 or $600
Yeah.
or something like that?
Yeah, something
So it's
crazy.
cheaper than one of those, and it has more
Yeah.
features and functionality. So
Yeah.
it's still a bargain for what it is. It's just probably not a flagship phone. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's a better phone because I did use the Saga, even though I haven't seen mine. I did open up and try a Saga late last year, and I mean, I'm an iPhone user, so I've never used an Android, so that took a little working out. But it isn't a. I personally didn't find it an intuitive phone. You know, I had to be instructed on how to use some of it, so it's not like
That's probably just
super.
an Apple to Android thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is and it isn't. Some of it is, and some of it wasn't. Like somebody who uses an Android was instructing me, and it was still kind of difficult. But yeah,
It definitely has a different OS than I'm used to. I've always been Android,
Mhm.
but when I got this one, I was like, oh, how come I can't do this, and how come I can't do that? It's
Yeah.
got a different
Yeah.
Android operating system on it than what most people are
Yeah.
used to.
Yeah, so it was an adjustment anyways for Android people, but yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing it in a year and a half when we see it.
Year and a half.
No,
So
I think
much time.
it's
That's a
scheduled to
long
be a
pre-order.
year. It's scheduled to
yeah.
be a year, but I figure I'm gonna factor in some delays from now. I like to set my expectations lower than most
Yeah.
people in the space who
Yep.
just, set them like way above their heads and then fud everything to the ground 2 seconds after the bar isn't hit.
Be making
Yeah.
pushes. But like, okay, so what's the thesis behind like having, because okay, so I didn't really read about like interviews about Tolly or something, but like why Solana needs a phone?
I
So
don't. Okay.
oh,
No. You
sorry,
go.
you go, B. Oh, okay.
No.
So I guess the idea of having what do they call it? What do they call the hardware device? They've got a name for it.
The Saga?
Passkey, I think.
Oh,
What was that? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the phone.
So the idea of having a mobile inbuilt hardware wallet was a big thing, but also having a native dApp store. So if you're familiar with building apps for both Android, or Android's going this way, or Google, I should say, is going this way, but Apple specifically, when it comes to like anything crypto related, it's very hard to get published on the market. And they like to take a large percentage of any revenue you make as well. I think I
30%.
think Apple's somewhere like 30%.
Yeah, 30.
So it makes it hard to do any sort of DeFi applications and things like that when you're pushing it out on the likes of Apple. And as I said, I'm pretty sure Google's going this way as well. So the idea of the dApp store, it sort of like bypasses all of Apple and Android stuff.
Okay.
And you've now got developers who can build on Rust, who can now push out applications on mobile that are crypto native, which is pretty cool. All with the nice user experience of purchasing it through a dApp store rather than jailbreaking phones and downloading, installing APK files and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's
I would
pretty
assume
cool.
that falls short a little bit in like getting it into your kind of normal consumer's hands, I would think.
Yeah.
But it at least still gets it out there, right?
Yeah.
Because of the airdrop. Because like, okay, so I understand this like DeFi censorship from Google and Apple, fair enough, but that's a company issue. That's not resolving any UX for the user, right? I don't care if you have hard time with Apple and I don't care if you're losing 30% on the apps and stuff. I just want like my phone to be easy to use and like my apps to roll out smooth and be cool to use, right? And again, it's gonna be a secondary phone, so it's going to be a phone that's gonna probably catch up dust after 2 weeks, like the Google glasses. But I don't know. I still need to see it, but like I don't see it. Yeah, but you know, in like on your point, I think it's a valid point in terms of business, 100%. But in terms of users, the user side, iPhone, Android are solving the problem of the phones. You know,
I think I know what you're saying, but like at the end of the day, you're saying it's user experience doesn't really matter, and it's the business's job to get these apps pushed through. But the problem is businesses can't get apps pushed through. So as a user, you don't have anything.
Yeah.
So now with the with the Samsung, the Solana phone, you as a user now get crypto native applications because of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does affect user experience, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and I think that's one of the big things is that it's not. None of the things that are initially launching are ever meant to be the final product. It's the stepping stone to figure out what's really falling short.
Yeah, but can you imagine the steps like for people to make their iPhone their secondary phone? Like the gap to do that.
Yeah, I think that's the tricky part.
It seems so huge.
Yeah.
That good luck.
It's hard enough trying to tear an Apple user away from the current whatever to like the latest Samsung, which is possibly a much better phone, but trying to get them to swap is hard enough. Now imagine trying to get them to swap for a lesser quality phone.
Exactly.
That, hardware wise, that's even harder.
I don't know that's exactly. I mean, you've already done a lot of cases on why it's been done, but I don't think that's exactly what the aim was, right? That it's going to be your primary phone. They'd have to make a kick-ass phone. They know they didn't make a kick-ass phone. I've seen totally be like, it's not it, right? So they'd have to make something head and shoulders better as a phone for pretty much anyone outside of crypto. But there's a certain amount of marketing that they can do, targeted marketing they can do with that Solana phone, that there's a certain amount of FOMO they can create with the Solana phone, and they have, especially obviously once Bonk and all of that other stuff came, there's certain deals that they can probably put together and make them exclusive with the Solana phone. So I think that thinking of it in terms of this replacing anybody's phone, nobody's thinking about that. I know one person who uses it as their primary phone and actually loves it. But for most of us, we don't just live in crypto land, and it's not.
One thing I would say though, there is no reason you couldn't make one of these phones your primary phone.
No.
It's more a case of just how we are as humans. We always want the latest and greatest features and the better camera and all the AI features and stuff. So naturally, we go after the latest tech. But there is 100% no reason why you couldn't make your Saga your primary phone. It does everything you need it to do. You can still, download Facebook and Twitter and, all your banking apps and everything. You can still operate it exactly the same way you would an iPhone. It's just not as good of hardware device. That's all.
I think they did make the right first stepping stone though. Because if you think about it, you have your Apples, your Googles that are really good phones. You have your software wallets, which are really good wallets. You have your hardware wallets, which are really good wallets. And they essentially made none of the best of those, but it's the first time that you get every single one of those together. Yep. So they are at the front of that, at least. It's not the best of any of them, but it's the first time you can have them all at the same time.
Yeah. But the first one is never usually the best one. And here's the thing. There are a lot more people like me who bought a Saga phone who have never used an Android, right? And the reason I've never used an Android is, while I recognize that it's probably a better phone, I just didn't want to learn some new shit, to be honest with you.
Like a follow-up question. Yeah. So you're telling me that your phone and your backup phones are all Apples?
Yeah.
That is bad.
No, it's not. Okay, let me explain it to you, Sus. First of all, I never buy a brand new brand new model Apple. I always buy like 2 models behind. So, I'm not paying the $1,000 that everybody's paying. I'm paying the $600. And then my backup phone ends up being the one that only lasts for like 10 minutes off charge, So, it's kind of a struggle when you have to have the secondary phone plugged in like most of the day for 20 minutes of use. But, it works. Like, my secondary phone is for when I'm in London. So I'm never usually away from the house too long that I'd be high and dry, and I always have my primary phone, which works there. I just don't use it for local calls. So
Makes sense.
It could be just an airdrop catcher, basically. Like that could be the main utility.
well, also in America, don't forget, in America, people can basically get a phone service for free because of HNT.
Yeah.
They're mining the HNT. So again, it's kind of that idea of being net zero and net positive from airdrops, then net zero from mining HNT and having enough of that to cover it. Like, why not?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I think a lot of people won out pretty good. You know, the phone virtually paid for itself with the airdrops. If you got the HNT thing, like you said, it's costing you no money to keep the phone serviceable, and you've now got a kick-ass wallet / hardware mobile wallet / hardware device. So it's a bit of a no-brainer, really. It's pretty cool.
Do you do any crypto-related action on your mobile?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. As in my primary mobile or my Saga?
On whatever mobile, on your phone.
I still do a lot of liquidity pools and stuff like that.
On mobile?
I've got separate wallets I use on my mobile. That I've got the private key on both my desktop and the mobile, so I can access the same wallet on mobile as well. Okay. And I'll still do some basic liquidity pools. I always keep some cash in there to do, degen buys. Like how many times? Well, for us in Australia, most of the time the mints are at 3 o'clock in the morning. So like, I ain't getting out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, go downstairs, turn on the computer, plug in my wallet. Fuck that. I'll just roll over, grab my phone, mint it, go back to bed. So that sort of stuff is really convenient. And plus, I use the West 57th card, which is like a virtual debit card on my phone. So I just top up through the Phantom wallet through there, and I use that as my tap and go spending money.
Nice. Okay.
So yeah, I use crypto on mobile a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I do too, as you have witnessed. It's helped us get coffees in the past at Breakpoint.
At Breakpoint, I understand, but like outside of Breakpoint, I don't know. But maybe it's because I'm this office 24/7. But I don't need to move. But yeah, I don't know.
Open the doors, go outside, feel the sunshine on your face.
Well, no, then there's people, and then no.
Okay, moving on. Bonk rewards for Lunar New Year. So the bonk. Okay, this is a bit confusing because it was explained to me and I still don't understand. So you lock away this bonk for no time, 6 months or 12 months.
No, I think it's 1, 3, and 6.
Is it? Okay, 1, 3, and
6.
1,
3, and 6.
So then the 3 is 1.4. The none is ×1. The 3 is 1.4, and the 6 is ×2.
Yeah.
So everybody I spoke to thought it was going to be ×2 bonk, but it's actually ×2 rewards, which is a little bit confusing. So do you have a better understanding of that, Denomics?
Yeah, so the rewards are coming from the bonk bot. So obviously a lot of people have adapted to using the bonk bot recently, and obviously that generates a lot of fees. So what they're doing is they're sharing, I don't know if it's all of it or a large percentage of those fees. It seems like it's a decent amount because I've seen some of the amount of tokens people are getting, and it's quite decent. But but as you explained, it's right. 1, 3, and 2, and 1, 3, and 6 month. And just the longer you lock it, the bigger the multiplier on the reward you get out of the pool. And you just basically every day you get more and more tokens, part of the share of the bonk bot. And then at the end of the 6 months, you can claim back your original deposit. But the problem is, like, it was really good at the start, and a lot of people were getting, didn't display the APYs, but as soon as it gets diluted, as more.
Okay. We're losing you, Denomics. You're freezing up, and we can't hear you anymore. Oh, there. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're back.
Yes,
Yeah,
you're back.
Yeah, as more and more people put money in, it gets diluted, and then that's no longer that good anymore. So I think we're sort of getting to that stage. I haven't actually checked to see or to work out what the actual APR is, but I'd say it's pretty well diluted now. So I'm not sure if it's super beneficial.
Yeah. Speaking of APR, to go off track for a second, Sharky announced their farming season, and
Yep.
so everybody's doing a few more loans or borrowing or whatever. And I loaned out money the other day, and I literally got it back within 10 minutes.
So incredible when that happens. So
Yeah.
nice.
It's just people farming, right?
It's people farming. So the person literally accepted the loan.
Take
and we
advantage
paid
of it, man. If people
so
are that hyped
expensive
about farming it,
it's so
just
expensive to farm that way, though. At least write out the loan.
Yeah, exactly. How much are the rewards going to be that it's
That's
like the other day I was talking about, we're getting like hundreds of CNFTs each day, and to burn them, unless you have like 50 and you're burning 50 at one time, it actually costs more money to burn than you're getting back.
Yeah, it's actually it's getting annoying.
It's getting
now.
really bad.
Actually,
yeah.
On that subject, the saga phones and the airdrops, it's not all you think it is. Like, we had those couple of big airdrops. We got the bonk and the access tokens. Everything we've got, and I think there was one NFT that was worth like 10 sol. Everything else we get is just junk, and we just get so much of it. You just get dropped, a couple of NFTs a day, and they're just the same absolute junk. And it's just like, please stop sending me stupid shit.
Yeah, the rare box is not that rare anymore.
Yeah,
if those guys are listening, stop.
It's a shame because like CNFTs sort of had some pretty cool use cases. Like, I could see like, oh, this could be really useful, but it's just like, we can't have nice things here. It just gets destroyed.
Yeah.
Now to the point where everyone's like, can you please turn off CNFTs? They're actually annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There was a time where Vitler was going to launch a big CNFT campaign.
Yeah. I'm still thinking about it. Yeah. I'm still excited. Yeah, like for example, every time we go live, boom, you send CNFTs to everyone.
Oh no, that's a good way to lose a lot of customers, bro. Can you imagine it? It'd just be like, how do I unsubscribe from this thing?
Yeah.
You can't. That's the only YouTube channel on earth where you can't unsubscribe.
Yeah.
It's like it's email spam, but without the
Exactly.
With
no answer. People would just be like deleting their wallets and starting fresh, I reckon.
Yeah. I saw like a couple of like YouTube link in tokens. Like there is one guy token, like he's spamming the whole chain. I forgot the name, but is in all of my wallets. But I mean, it's a marketing technique. But yeah, you get spam stuff. But I wanted to do something with Drip, but then I had to work on other stuff or create more videos, so didn't do it. But
it's getting harder to do things with Drip.
Oh yeah,
like actual artists are having problems doing things with Drip. So
you know what? I'm still on the fence with this whole Drip thing. A lot of people, nothing. I've got nothing negative to really say about it. But a lot of people are, praising it, talking about how amazing it is and how it's going to onboard all these people. I think it's probably one of the most complicated fucking things I've ever used in my life. I still don't even get how to use it. I've tried it on different mobiles. I've tried it on desktop, and I'm like, what am I actually supposed to do? You like claim droplets, and then you subscribe to people, and then randomly you get drop stuff. I'm like, this isn't user friendly. I don't know how this is onboarding people.
So there are too many things going on with it at the moment. I don't know what the droplets do. I've just given up on claiming those. But you also have a box that
isn't
it? Now, but like that wasn't, you just automatically got things. The droplets is a new thing, and I really haven't investigated it too much. I've just kind of been like, whatever. Where I think it succeeds, well, here's the thing. Drip replaced Solana Spaces stores, which I think they said that it was a better onboarding tool than Solana Spaces stores. I don't really get that, because people are familiar with brick and mortar stores and they had cute merchandise, and I don't see how, if somebody walks past your store and says, "Oh, that t-shirt's cute," and walks in and then goes, "What the fuck is Solana?" How that's sending people who already know what NFTs are every day is a better onboarding tool than somebody walking past your store and seeing a cute shirt and then coming in and asking you about it, right? So that part I've never understood.
No.
Where I think it's successful is if you are a fan of a particular artist. For example, Bangers is huge on there, huge fan of hers, and you want more pieces of hers, but you can't necessarily afford them because she's up there. You know, you can have pieces of her artwork for nothing, basically, but you know, and you can pick and choose what you want to keep because it's CNFTs, right? But I think that's successful, and from the exposing artists to people who don't know those particular artists, I think it's successful
That
there.
I like. That I
But
like.
it's a lot of CNFTs a week, especially if you subscribe to other artists. And yeah, and this idea that they had of this being a better onboarding tool, I just don't see where that's possible.
Yeah, I don't see it either. I get the idea of like showcasing hidden artists that you probably wouldn't have known about. I mean, I used to do the same thing on Exchange Art. You'd just go for a wander through there and you'd find like discover some pretty cool artists.
Yeah.
So I guess it's doing that, but I think the interface they're using is quite complicated. And like you said, in terms of like onboarding, it's not really doing. I don't think it's doing anything with onboarding at all. I don't see it. Maybe I just don't get the vision.
I think when they first started, like, I guess what they were thinking is like they onboarded more of us to like the Solana way of, like, I don't know, but once.
Sorry, V. I just wanted to quickly jump in here because I remember them. I can't remember if it was them specifically, but I'm sure it was throwing around stats like, and this isn't a dig at them because I want to bring up. I've seen this a few times. People start making claims like, "Oh, we've now got 100,000 registered wallets on our application," and I think there is not even close to that many people in the fucking ecosystem. Tell me this isn't like bots and people with multiple wallets. Like it's all good to brag about numbers. It makes you sound really good, but we don't even have that many people in the ecosystem. So stop making up numbers.
It's vanity metrics.
Do the same thing, saying like, our Discord bot's in like it reaches 1 million people. I'm like, just because your bot is in a server that says there's 33,000 people in it doesn't mean you're reaching 33,000 people because there's probably about 100 that are actually active. The rest of them are bots or people who have left. Like, the stats don't mean shit.
Yeah, no, there was a stat the other day of how many new Solana wallets were opened, and it's like we're all airdrop farming. What?
Yeah,
these are all us opening multiple wallets to airdrop farm.
Exactly. Yeah, everyone's got multiple wallets, or they're just burners, and they've just created a new one. It's
I always worry about the people that's fooling. Like every time I hear one of the stats, I'm like, oh, this is more bearish than it is bullish because like who's buying into this?
Yeah. I mean, it's simple. Like, just look at the volume of the marketplace, right? And it's like what 10x lower than what we had during the bull, and like,
where's these 100,000 buyers that we're onboarded? Why isn't anyone buying these shitty NFTs?
Exactly.
Morning, Keikis, GMs. I think it's GNs for you, but morning. Greetings, sirs and zers. Hoff is back. So sus. Last week he came in with "Good morning, gents" or something, and I was like, Hoff, I'm hosting the show. What? Oh yes, I didn't know you were gonna be here, but yeah, I'm rocking the Anodao today, Keikis. Okay, so I had other questions or other things that we were going to discuss. Okay, so Emmy ETH Marketplace, February 27th. Did anybody use their ME wallet this week?
Oh, I
Nope.
still haven't even downloaded it. I've been that
Oh.
busy. I've been meaning to, and I just forgot all about
I
it.
downloaded it. I
Is it
did
good?
it when
Yeah.
we have code. No, I don't know. I haven't
No.
put
Oh,
any
you don't know, you
Solana
don't
in
think
it. But I did hear the there was a report yesterday because there were a couple of open editions for, I guess, Valentine's Day, and ME was doing like somebody times ME open editions, and one person I know had, I don't think he got it in the end because you had to do it through your ME wallet and it just wasn't going through. So
Alright.
that wasn't
What is going on?
sorry, I'm reading the comments and Keikis is in the comments. Thanks. I'm sorry. Anyways, yeah, so I don't think it's
What?
going as smoothly as planned.
Okay.
But I haven't used mine yet, so I can't say, oh, you got the Hoff got the Klano OE. You're not sorry at all, Keiki. You came to disrupt. Anyways, so you Hoff got the Klano one, but yeah, I heard difficulties so far. And I just don't know a lot of people using it. I think that they're gonna have to do things like that where you have to mint from the ME wallet to get people to use it.
Yeah, it's hard to get people to move away from what they're already using. Same topic of going from iPhone to Android. If you've been using Phantom for the last 2 years, it's hard to say, try this. Yes, Vince, down in the audience.
It's because the pain point has already been solved. They are selling vitamins when you should build painkillers. That's it. That's why.
Elaborate on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay. So when you build a business, it's more easy in terms of business and stuff and startup to sell painkillers when you solve a problem instead of selling something that you improve already working workflow. Solana Mobile versus iOS, Apple iPhones, like a ChatGPT extension versus ChatGPT itself, or like when they're gonna launch the store. You know what I mean? Like you are way more vulnerable when you're selling vitamins to people instead of painkillers. Did you
I
get
think
the
I know what
analogy?
you're getting at. Yeah.
Oh,
In
it's
other
not
words,
clear.
we probably didn't need another wallet, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I'd probably agree, especially with now we've seen Phantom go multi-chain, which now does Bitcoin and Ethereum and Polygon. It does sort of beg the question: did we really need a Magic Eden wallet? I mean, I haven't used it, so I can't speak from experience. But maybe it has some really cool features that integrate really well with the Magic Eden platform. So maybe we did need it. But if you just told me the base stats, it doesn't make
current
sense.
reports would indicate no, it doesn't work so well with the Magic Eden platform.
This is pretty common in the Web3 space, though. I feel like a lot of businesses and founders like to recycle shit that's already been done. Like people come up with it, like instead of coming up with new innovations, new ideas, solving new problems, they just replicate something that somebody's already done and think it's going to be a good business model. And I always give reference to like, it's like somebody opening up a lemonade stand next door to another lemonade stand. There's only so many lemonade stands you can have on one street. Why would you think that was a good business decision to open up another lemonade stand next door to the last
all
one?
the time.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. And that's what
Starbucks always opens up across the street from another coffee shop.
But because it's a nice strategy. Okay, so the lemonade stand stuff, it's like it's good because like the traffic is coming into one point, and then like you build like the Starbucks.
Yeah, but they're not.
But
they're
copying
not
the lemonade stand's not enough. What?
They're not growing the pie. They're just trying to steal from each other. It's the same thing as marketplaces.
Bro,
when I see someone saying, "Oh, we're going to build a new marketplace," I'm thinking,
bro, like
fire your CEO because he's an idiot.
Yeah,
like why do we need another NFT marketplace? Fighting over what, the last 300 customers?
So the pain point that ME is solving, but not very well just yet, was explained in our syndicate our syndicate stream earlier on this month, and I did agree with it. Although at the moment it's like I have to go to Xverse for Bitcoin. Not that I go there very often, admittedly. I have to go to MetaMask for this. It's a one-stop shop, so that is the pain point that it's solving. It's just not solving it very well right now.
Yeah, I'd agree. And Pengs, that's kind of the issue. Yeah. They're thinking revenue and not users, but I don't think they have the real world experience to really, work out if that's going to make sense. I don't know where they get their projections from, but yeah, you can't just go, oh, well, if Magic Eden are making money, we should do the same thing and we'll make the same amount of money. It's like, no, unless you're growing the pie, you are not going to be making the same amount of money unless you steal all of their volume, which is not going to happen.
Some of the projections are wild. It's like, oh, this other group's making, 100 whatever per day. It's like, and we're going to do the same thing and we're going to make 200. It's like,
yeah.
Where are you generating your users?
But again, it's like the standards. Oh yeah, this is like the addressable market is like $100 billion, and if we only capture 1%, we all gonna be rich. So invest in my company.
I think I've read that pitch deck.
Oh yeah, all of them. It's like shit, bro. Okay, so if your vitamin is like 10 times better than the competition, then it works. But like it's not.
Yeah, but you need a really good. We're taking this and making this new in this way, and none of them do that.
No, exactly.
Half the time, it's ripped off UXs anyway. It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're already seeing Magic Eden and Tenta fighting back and forward every day. Yeah. One of them copies each other. Whoever gets the attention for that day gets implemented on the other one the next day, and they're just fighting back and forward. It's just that race to zero as everyone starts undercutting each other for market share. Eventually, one of them is going to go broke. Who can last the longest without making money?
That could be a strategy too. But it's a race to the fucking royalties, like a race to zero royalties meta that we had for 2 months, and then sorry, we don't make revenue, so let's create a protocol to enforce royalties now. Let's do that. It's something like I think Solana.
Do we just lack forward thinkers in this space? Maybe
I don't.
That they think too much of now instead of going, how's that going to play out? Yeah. We don't have critical thinkers in this space.
But I think that everybody. I think a lot of people are guilty of getting just trapped in the echo.
Yeah.
Denomics. I'd argue that they're too forward thinking, right? Because everybody's like, oh, as a user, you know what I'd really want? I'd really want if I didn't have to pay these fees. All right, cool. I'll create this business model where you don't have to create these fees. And they're like, wait, I don't make any money. Shit.
Just to go back on something that somebody else said. Sorry, Bitler.
That's
I interrupted you. What would you like to say?
No, I nothing.
Another vitamin analogy before we leave this topic?
No, that's good.
Please.
It's good. Can go.
The best, we took vitamins, we made them into caplets because they tasted bad. And then we went to gummies, which gummies are good because swallowing 6 vitamins a day, not great. Anyways, somebody was saying, going back, I think it was Drew, and I don't have this on my talking points, but Teddy's rug, we should probably discuss that because that was huge news this week.
Yeah, this makes me angry.
Yeah, I know your stance, and I have the same one, Denomics, but go through it.
I didn't invest in it or anything. I couldn't be fucked. I saw the art and I'm like, it's kind of cool, but you could see from a mile away that this was just another copy-paste piece of shit that was going to do nothing, slow rug, whatever. And then it got speed run. They pulled a 11-day bundle, I think it was, and rugged after a little bit over a week. Too hard, after 11 days, too stressed out, too hard, mate. Like, what were you signing up to? What? I don't know. It aggravates me that the amount of people who think that they can start a project, they've got this wonderful idea. It's like, mate, you've seen how this exact same idea hasn't worked 40,000 times, but you think your idea is good, right? it's all about the IP, and we're gonna,
That is,
you know, what are they gonna do? They're gonna what's the you always see this in the white papers, something about the community. They're going to foster a community, and blah, blah. It's the same thing every time. I'm like,
brand
how
project.
does do anything?
Wow, brand project. Oh yeah, we have a valuable IP, bro. You are fucking built up here NFT. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I'm pretty sure the letter was part of the roadmap. Like, it's a roadmap feature, bro.
Can I give an unpopular opinion on the teddies though? So I see a lot of people want to blame Magic Eden and say, hey, these marketplaces need to be held accountable for what they're launching. And I will totally go the other side and say that they're getting paid. They're getting paid for the launch, which you're essentially, when you're launching through a big marketplace, you were just paying for ad space. People just need to stop minting trash. Stop giving them money.
It's the people. It's the people. Dude, I blew up in a couple of DAOs. One DAOs we're in recently. I thought I was going to get kicked out because I blew up at people saying, you are the reason we have such shit projects, because you keep getting all excited about pre-sale on some piece of crap that you are knowingly going to flip for $10.
Yeah.
I think the marketplaces,
you have no idea about the project. You don't care about it, but you're gonna pre-sale it so you can flip it for $10 and then talk shit about it, and then it bugs. You are the problem. You are encouraging it. You are enabling money.
I think the marketplaces are in the right though, because all they're doing is selling their ad space. That's it.
Yeah, I don't blame.
Yeah, but it's not long lasting. Like, again, if you don't have, like, if you don't curate the project that you launch, because again, like, you launch a rug, and so then the next project will get less mint because you launched a rug previously, and then if you do that 10 times in a row, if you lose 10% all the time, you're fucked.
It just needs to be more accountability.
You become a rug
standards
marketplace.
I just wish everyone held people to much higher standards in this space, so that when a project comes out and says, hey, we're going to do this, I wish people would say, are you? Show us. How are you going to do it? What experience have you got? Show us how you're going to do it exactly. What's your roadmap look like? How are you going to use the funds? And hold these people accountable. If they don't have the answers, don't give them the money. How are they going to mint out if everyone thinks that it's an absolute joke? No one's going to give them money. Now, if that becomes the standard, how many people are going to bother trying to launch absolute dog shit projects when they know they're not going to mint out because no one will give them money?
But they still, like, pre-sale guys, like, and minters can flip for $10 after 10 seconds, like 10 minutes. If it's a highly hyped, and then everyone, like, the team has the mint font or not, they can rug. Minters can flip on, like, bozos after 15 minutes. Everyone's happy because they make the $10. So the incentive of, like, rugging a project is actually too high for the people to not do that. And when we will, as long as we're not fixing that issue and we de-align all of the incentive of, like, everyone in the ecosystem to launching a project, then, like, it will still happen, I guess.
Yeah.
I disagree. Same as Amazon or whatever retail being accountable for what they sell and have to refund it if it's trash, doesn't comply with the description.
Well, I mean, I guess I can agree there. If they are promoting it, they, I guess, are somewhat responsible. But I mean, why not have something like what Phase Protocol had in place, where you have milestone-based unlocks for their raise? Why are these absolute dog shit projects with 18-year-old founders who have never run a business before being handed over $500,000 within, a day of launching an absolute, piece of crap, and then doing whatever they want with it?
The only difference I'd make for where I think this goes different from, like, oh, I'm buying a product or I'm buying these other things, I think we're seeing a difference between buying an actual physical product that you're purchasing, some good, versus an investment. Because if you buy an investment into a company, that's it. That transaction's happened. You said, I back you guys. This is it. I did my research on an investment, not a good. So I think that's where the gray area comes in, where a lot of people get caught up, because backing one of these Web3 groups is more of a business investment, which is why, Denomics is constantly bringing up, hey, what's your roadmap? What's all these other things? If I'm buying a laptop off of the internet, I'm not asking the Lenovo, hey, what's your roadmap look like? No, this is the good. This is what it is.
Yeah, you go and look at the reviews of people who bought it before.
Pengs just brought up something good in the comments.
Yeah,
he said, "Why isn't Magic Eden implementing those types of protocols?" I don't know why. I don't have the answer, but I could
Money.
have a guess
It's
why.
it's less
Because
money
if
for them.
they implemented those protocols and said, if you launch with us, you have to do it this way, I would say a lot of those projects would be like, oh, fuck that. And what does that say about them? That basically says that they have no intentions of actually delivering anything, and they were just there for the quick cash grab. So they're going to go to someone else. So Magic Eden would lose market share from launches because people won't use that service. But I mean, that's where I think the users need to do better, because if we have the power to force people to do whatever we want. We're the ones that are enabling it by giving them money. If we stop giving them money and say, we will only give you money if you do it this way, then the industry and the whole ecosystem would change a lot. But until the mindset shifts from, oh, I don't give a shit, I'll just make my $5, then we're going to end up with a pretty dead ecosystem as it just gets more fragmented from more and more absolute terrible projects.
But it makes good project look a bit better.
Did
No one's got any money left to invest in them, though.
I did do a little red flag list yesterday on Twitter, and I was like, if you see two of these, it equals a rug. At this point, that's what's going on. And then but my most favorite one, like, that people are still going to, where I think this is a you problem, this isn't the project's problem at this stage, is if the team is headed or includes a known rugger, don't mint it, because you're making somebody you already know
$10 off it. Even if you can make $10 off it,
don't
stop being such a broke ass. That's the way I say
don't, because the idea of making a rich rugger even richer at this point is such a turnoff to me that, you know, there are about 5 projects I can name that we've had this in the last like 2.5 months that I've just completely faded, because I was like, nope, not giving that guy my money.
I haven't minted anything in ages. I haven't even really bought any NFTs off the secondary market for ages, because I don't know, over the last 6 months or so, there's been no project that really caught my eye that thought, hey, this is actually a good idea, it might be viable. And there's no other existing projects that have showed me that the founders have been able to actually deliver anything that they've said that they could. So I just don't see anything worth investing in, which is a shame, because I still believe in the space, but I need to see results. And at the moment, I don't know. I've spent 2 years in the Solana NFT space. I haven't seen a lot of results.
We minted 4 months ago.
I mean, the other thing is, like, a good indicator for me is I was, when Solana started pumping again, I was doing a bunch of free mints and flipping them. And yes, some of them were only $10, but it was a free mint, so who cares? But I made decent profits off of some of them. Those free mints are not minting out. Like, they are stopped at like 34% these days, because people aren't willing to even spend the
the gas
the
money.
fees.
The 50 cents in the transaction.
Metaplex, and the Metaplex fee and whatever usually comes out to about at least 0.03. People aren't willing to do that, on something that, probably won't go anywhere. So Keiki says NFTs are dead right now. Yeah, they kind of are.
I'd agree, but I don't know. I still think there will be plenty that will survive.
Not
and there'll be new ones that come up. But I think we just have too many. There is way too many projects out there. We just don't need that many.
But like the valuable ones, they are in the top 20, maybe top 50, and then not even top 20. Like that's it. Like in the NFT world, like if you're not number one, you don't really exist. Like that.
You got to be in the top 10 to be noticed. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
But saying that, the biggest utility for most of the people in the ecosystem is price go up, right? So like, for example, I was talking to Drax yesterday. Price hasn't gone up on TFFs at all recently, but they're the highest volume for 2 weeks running, he said, or something. And I was like, well, that
Yeah, they always have lots of volume though. I think they get washed through the raffle DAO guys.
Maybe.
Mm.
But yeah, he was saying like for the last 2 weeks it's been like fire on TFFs. So, but that isn't a price go up thing. I mean, I think it's just been stalled at about 4.6 for the last
it's
month.
been like that for ages because the raffle DAO, they basically buy off the market, raffle them, whoever wins them sells, and they buy off the market. They just keep rotating it. So yeah, Famous Fox has always got tons of volume for ages, for months, like probably 12 months plus. It's always been in the top 10. Price doesn't move. So all the volume is just being washed. It's not actually buy pressure or sell pressure. It's just washed.
Authorities.
Interesting. Yeah, and that would make sense with TFFs because TFFs, there's no reason for them to really go up at this stage, to be honest. They're, Famous Fox Federation is a great organization and product, but TFFs don't have that much going on necessarily. Unless you're staking for Foxy. Foxy is pumping because they have a Foxy only mint coming up, so people are buying it up. So
okay, interesting. I don't follow them that much, but yeah, they're pretty cool. I've always sort of liked the Fox's IP and all the stuff, the utilities and stuff they build. They're pretty cool.
That's massive.
Yeah, no, I'm a big Drax fangirl, and he came to my space last night, so I just pummeled him with questions.
It's probably the biggest project with like the biggest revenue, like recurring revenue every month. They're printing a shit ton of money, and that, if not the only one of the biggest money maker in the ecosystem.
Yeah, probably. And they're probably the only NFT project on Solana to actually create software that makes money.
And to be honest, they're I mean, there's always a bunch of complainers saying, "What have they done for us lately?" But they give away a lot of money each week. They give away Soul, they give away Foxy, they they give away foxes and stuff. This whole mint is going to be essentially for somebody who holds a bunch of foxes free with Foxy. And they're constantly building, and if I don't know if you've ever seen it, but their Instagram is really fantastic as well. So they're really broken outside of their shell, because I know I don't know what the followers are on their Instagram, but it is really has a lot of followers. So there are people outside of this ecosystem following them. So that could lead somewhere someday. And Drex gave us alpha on NFT NYC party, so that was cool too.
Nice.
Yep. Okay, so we're running out of time. I think we're run out of time officially, but let me see, what else do we have on our list to talk about today?
Did we talk about the airdrop farming strategies?
No, we didn't, but I don't think we're going to have time today. So we might have to leave that till next week.
Okay.
Unless you want to do a speed round on it.
I don't know if that's possible to speed round.
Yeah,
exactly.
We can speed
so yeah,
I
think we'll leave that till next week.
Okay.
And DeFi and DeFi protocols, you guys are going over it on your show, but we can do a little thing next week on that. So the only other thing I had, which I thought was kind of weird, I don't know that we can really discuss it much, but a company called Travel Care announces you can use Solana to book travel now. It's cool.
That's cool.
I mean, that's pretty
more
cool.
ways to spend your Solana. It's cool.
No, you don't want that.
Yeah. Huh?
You want speculation. You want price to go up.
People spending it is good.
Yeah, 1%.
It's good for network effect, which causes price to go up. So it's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's
Travel
cool.
Care.
That's cool. Yeah. I had some this is a speed round, the bearish and bullish. Cool. Okay, dogs, how do you feel about that? Bearish or bullish?
So I'm probably different than everyone else. No, I'd say I'm still a little bit neutral, for probably the bearish for the same reasons everyone else is probably bearish for. But I do remember listening to a space that Kai's was on, and he did say that one of the big partners that he was working with, I can't remember the name of them, IMG, I think I can't remember the big IP partner they're with. IMG, yeah. They sort of explain. I remember him explaining it where they said for them to really build out the OK brand and IP, they needed to create some sort of a world or an ecosystem with more characters. They can't just run it up with a bear. So hence they started creating the creatures, and now they're doing the dogs. So I understand why they're doing it, and obviously to go multi-chain and be, have exposure to all chains. So I get that side of it. Do I think the timing is right? No. Do I think we need another 10K collection right now? Probably not. So,
I don't think that 10K collections are the move anymore at all.
Not at this rate. I personally wouldn't be speculating on them. However, I do hold a bunch of OK Bears, and I will be getting a bunch of, I think, free OK Dogs if we've done the upgrade thing. But yeah, I personally wouldn't be expecting it to go too high. Put it that way.
I think that's my take on it too. Bullish and bearish, but for opposite reasons that most people are finding. I think the idea is fine, but I think the idea of people expecting, I'm going to buy this because it's going to absolutely print. My take is that's not the point. But maybe that's a wrong take.
Bitler?
Yeah, I'm bearish. I don't understand. I don't like.
Hoff's got the right idea.
Yeah, I honestly was expecting OK Bulls, to be honest. That just made sense. Bears and Bulls. Yeah. When I saw they did the dogs, I was like, it's a bit of a fail, but anyway, we'll run with it.
I mean, funny now that you mention it. So Jelly Rascals did dogs, and then they did gambles. Like, not that they're technically related, but they're all under the same umbrella. So maybe they'll do bulls next because they did the dogs. Then they did the bulls. But I would say I'm bearish just because I don't care.
Yeah.
I
have no interest, no.
Drew just chimed in, and I know he has some a little bit more information than I do. So having a bear and doing the upgrade thing guarantees you a mint, but we will still have to pay. That makes me a little bit bearish. Yeah. I was more than happy to mint a bunch for free. But if they do a mint where it's like even $200 or $300 each, I'm going to be like,
why make a raise of it? A raise is the point.
But isn't it also? Yeah, it's on ETH, so there's going to be gas fees. Exactly. By the time they go for it, the gas fees could be $100.
Yeah, and you're gonna lose money on the free mint, bro, because of the gas fees.
Yeah. I'm not expecting price to go up, put it that way. So I'm a little bit hesitant to pay for a mint. That kind of sucks, especially if we've got a short window to actually mint them. I mean, it could be wrong. If they start flying off the floor, then I'll probably mint.
They should do it free. It's like free money. Like we give you free money from your allocation.
But I mean, that also hasn't worked very well for other projects, has it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
People just keep expecting then too. That's why there's literally no win to adding extra collections. It's always going to be pretty much price bearish unless you get money.
I think it's more of a long-term play for OK Bears. I don't think anyone should be expecting this to be a bullish situation where price of bears and dogs go up anytime soon.
No.
But as it expands the ecosystem, if they help with their partnerships with IMG and they get more cool things happening and expand the IP, more adoption, things like that, then it could be beneficial. But I think it's more of a long-term play for OK than it is short-term.
Yeah. I mean, if it's on the other chain, it's not like a baby collection on the same chain anywhere, right? So if you don't bridge them, because we love bridges, but whatever. It's not really it's not really like a baby brother collection. It's just expanding more, putting the OK brand to new people because they're not on the same chain.
Yeah, so it's just a brand awareness thing.
Yeah, it makes sense. Even if everyone on ETH was aware of OK bears at the time, I guess. I don't know. I don't understand this project. I never did. I don't know. So bearish.
Cool. Well, on that confusion, I think it's time to wrap it up.
Is that the only bullish and bearish speed round?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I have more, but it just
don't-
seemed like that went really fast. So I had
It was not a
Bonkbot.
really
Are we
speed
bullish
run.
or bearish on it? And
Bullish on Bonkbot. It's cool.
I am bullish on it, but I'm bearish on the fact that it doesn't update. And like I need 4 different Bonkbots to actually get my information because none of them work entirely.
It's a terrible interface. Using Telegram
Yeah.
sucks, but
Yeah.
it's still a
But
cool tool.
yeah, but saying that, I think they're one of the more popular ones. But now there are all sorts of other Telegram trading bots.
Photon works really good as well.
Yeah,
Which has its own interface a little bit better.
yeah. I haven't tried it. And then there's Shuriken, Unibot, and there's another one. It's called like somebody told me it's the best, and I haven't used it yet, but I'm on their wait list or something called Shuriken. But the good thing about Bunkbot was we got Jup. We got a Jup. I think we got a Jup. Yeah. I think
We got when. You got
Oh,
when,
I got when. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got something on the Bunkbot, and I was like, this is amazing. And then but Unibot doing an airdrop. Oh, really? Hoff. Good to know. So there's Unibot, and then there's Shuriken Solana. But you're bullish on Bunkbot. Sus, have you used Bunkbot? Bullish or bearish?
Used it once. Bullish, but it's got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Not bullish on Bonkbot, bullish on the idea. Like that just makes sense.
Yeah. It makes sense. I mean, people just want to do things fast and easy. I will say that I'm bearish on them because no, that was my own fault. Sorry.
Leeway's
bearish.
Live, by the way. Hi, Leeway.
Huh? What?
Leeway. He's up. David.
Hi, Leeway. Yeah.
He's late to the party. He's
He's trying to
not
hang
that
out this-
fashionably late entrance, but he's a little bit too late. Party's over, Leeway.
How do you change your name? You
need another account.
Never seen
Anyways,
somebody dox themselves so many times.
you can change your name on your account, or you can just open another account. You can change your name. I changed this account. Anyways, so Bonkbot, Vincent Decoders. How do you feel about Bonkbot? Bearish or bullish?
Never use it. So
Never
bearish. Cool. What else did I have on the bullish and bearish? I think I had airdrop farming, and I guess what's left of shitcoin season, if it's just a season. So yeah, shitcoin season. How'd that go for everyone? Bearish or bullish?
Airdrop farming, bullish. It's always going to be bullish. It always has been. Just goes in waves about how lucrative it is. Shitcoin season also comes in waves. That's a risk factor. I think Solana makes a better chain for shitcoins over Ethereum. However, the demographic on Solana makes shitcoins on Solana terrible because they're happy to make $5 on something, and they throw in their $10 and they're like, I just aped into this and start posting all over Twitter. It's just different breeds of people, but yeah.
No, you're still test. No, your test failed. Leeway. Starknet, bearish or bearish? What's Starknet?
Oh, yeah, it's Sis?
Well, the only choice is bearish, so that's it.
Yeah.
But what is it?
It's a new. Is that a chain? Starknet. I forgot. Yeah, secure scaling. Is a secure scaling technology bringing Ethereum benefit to the world. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah, I heard about it too, and didn't dig it, but
I don't know. But I guess if we're going to talk chains, modular like Tia and all of that stuff. Are you bullish or bearish?
What?
Fiddler.
Modular.
Modular chain. So Tia, Atom.
I don't. No, I'm
Vince has his little bubble of where he's comfortable, and he doesn't like to go outside that.
Exactly.
He's like, I don't need
Except when he
anything
gets
else.
free money, he got a lot of DIM.
Yeah,
You got a lot
true.
of dimension.
How did I get that? I don't remember. Oh yeah, no, because they asked for my Solana wallet, so that's why.
Who asked for your Solana wallet?
Team.
No, you got it because I put alpha in the chat and you followed
Yeah.
the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, but if it was not
Thank you
with
to
the
me.
Solana, yeah, I know, but like if
Did
it
you
was
get
not
the standard? Did you get the standard 20% commission from that, V?
Nope. Didn't
Just-
get any.
Whoa, what a boss!
Spoon feeding.
Still waiting. And it was he got a big one, so you know,
Oh,
bearish
wow.
on that.
I kind of feel that we are late on the show, so we should like we're over time.
Just feel like sentiment's changing on here.
Yeah, I'm feeling
mean,
attacked.
Spam the chat, guys, because I really feel
Yeah.
like I
It's
deserve
F.
justice on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but like, yeah, you have my eternal recognition, and that's more valuable than money.
Wow.
It pays 0 bills. Thanks for that one, though.
Yeah.
Hitler. Okay, great. It's gonna start charging overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can paint you.
I'm gonna start
Just-
charging 1,000 views per minute. Which also, don't rug V. Justice for V. Don't rug V. Oh, I've been super rugged. Don't worry, Leeway. Super rugged. Anyways, V for Vendetta.
You know that works also with my name, right? Kinda.
Huh?
That works with my name.
V for Vendetta. Yeah, but nobody's talking about you.
For once. Fuck.
V for Vendetta. Oh, true. I could, but I will never. Okay. Well, this has been wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Denomics, Sus.
No worries.
Vitler. Also, guys, if you haven't for some reason subscribed to the channel, please do so. If you haven't subscribed to Decod3rs, please do so. If you haven't bought a decoder, please do so. If you haven't subscribed to Skribr, if you're not in their Discord, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You know, follow all of our guests, Denomics and Sus, me, Vincent, if you're really into that. And we'll see you next week.
All right.
Bye.
See you later.